All righty then. We are back for another episode of Down the Rabbit Hole. That always gets me jacked up to escape the Matrix. I'm your host, Mike. We've got super producer Renee today.
What's up?
Tony's on assignment. And today we have a special episode with two special guests returning. XtinaRP and the man, the myth, the legend, Vincenct Scott. What is going on, folks?
Oh,
Hello.
just in there. Whole lot of craziness in the world, you know?
Yes. Today was crazy. I mean, we'll get into all of it, I'm sure. There's definitely something going on behind the scenes, clearly. We haven't had a price surge like this since November, I want to say, right? When it got over $2 for the first time in like years.
Right.
But a couple of days, I mean, we'll just get into it if you guys want. I know we talked a little bit before. You guys are doing well. I'm really happy to have you guys back on. And shout out to everybody viewing. Maybe we'll start off with the early comments. Give the people some love that are in here. If Renee, you want to, we'll switch it up. Usually we wait a sec, but.
All right, we got Burr in the house.
Burr.
We got saying, what do y'all think about how the SEC is waiting until the very last minute to announce the end of the Ripple case? It's got to be all connected. ...
Here's what I think. Number one, checks and balances. Everyone needs to remember how our government is structured. So it doesn't matter what this case says at the end of the day, because legislation could override it. Okay, so they could pass it, or they could, settle it, and then the next day the laws pass and get signed by Trump, and it renders it all moot. So this whole thing was just a delay tactic. What was the most important part about this entire case was the fact that XRP was ruled as not a security, and the rest was just nonsense after that, just delaying. And it was precisely because they were cribbing off of this case in order to form legislation throughout this entire process. And, Brad, he went there and he testified in front of the Senate Banking Committee. And, he laid it all out as the leading crypto CEO out there from the most respected company about what the stakes are for this financial technology and the innovation that's before us. So everyone just remember checks and balances, okay? It doesn't matter. This case doesn't matter anymore. What matters is the legislation. And next week is Crypto Week. And, if the Genius Act passes the House, then it goes immediately to be signed by the president. Now, they could try and reconcile or merge it with, like, the Clarity Act or a few others that are the Stable Act. But the point being here is it's about the laws. It's always been about the laws. That is the goalpost. That is what we need. And everybody should just look at this price movement. It doesn't matter. Okay? I know everyone wants to get excited about it, but at the end of the day, this thing is not being used by the people we need for it to be used, which is all the financial institutions, the people with licenses, to implement and to deploy it as the financial technology it is, because they have to have the law backing them up, because they're not going to lose their jobs over this, So once the laws are in place and it's being used, that would then be the sustainable price rise. Remember, because how it rises after it's being deployed is the frequency, volume, and amounts of all the transactions that are going on through the ledger. Right now, it's just all, market manipulation and limited use, and, it's not sustainable is the point. What is sustainable is it being used after the laws, and that's the goalpost. That's what we're all waiting for.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I'm hopeful. Tina and I were talking a little bit before you got on here. We're praying to God. The Clarity Act, the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act,
Yep.
Act. If there's one thing I know about Trump and his regime and his people around him, they want to be first. And they want to be top dog in just about anything they do.
Yeah.
So,
Dominance.
yeah, I'm hopeful with that. Let's go into the rest of the comments right now?
Yep. We also got Burr saying escape the matrix.
That's right, baby.
Yes, that intro's gotten hyped.
Escape it.
It's a good intro.
Josh B in the house saying, please, Vince, I hope you fixed your Wi-Fi. We got a lot of people saying they're
I'm on my
pumping your
phone
Wi-Fi.
this time, so
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be fine.
We made the switch, Josh. There was some issues still, but it's beautiful right now. We can see that mug.
Josh is saying hi Renee. Hey Josh. He's saying hi Tina. He's saying hi Vince. We got Ricardo in the house saying Vinny the GOAT.
Yes.
He is.
Remember,
Josh,
people, all memes are scams. All
Yes.
of them. All of them are
Oh, I
scams.
can't
right?
wait.
We'll get
Yeah,
into it.
we got a nice clip here real soon. We're gonna play of the Senate Banking Committee and Timothy Maceed testifying about that very thing.
Yep.
we also got Rob Red in the house. What's up?
Yo,
And-
aka Red Knight.
Yep, aka Red Knight.
Red Knight, what's up, brother?
And we also got Mario tuning in with a question saying, do you think these financial institutions are already utilizing XRP under the table?
So when they started to take off the guidances, remember back in February and March, we were doing episodes about this where they were taking off all of these guidances and rescinding letters from the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, from the SEC, from several other places. So this is the period of when they're testing and evaluating, okay? But they're not doing it with other people's money. And that's where you need the laws to transmit the value, okay? Because you're handling other people's money and you have a fiduciary duty, right? So even Jerome Powell says, yeah, they're free to engage in crypto-related services. Well, yes and no. Only with their own funds. You know, it's like they're playing with house money at that point. They're not playing with somebody else's. Get it?
Yeah. No, it's great. Great answer. Renee?
Oh, our last comment. I bet. We
It's
also
okay.
got a last comment here saying Vinny Boombots from F2DA_T.
What's that mean?
Billy Boom Bots.
Vinny
What's
Boom
that?
It's from Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Vinny Boom Bots.
Yeah.
No respect.
Yep.
And Ricardo saying, I like the tech.
I
That's
love
right.
that.
Like,
We need bumper stickers. You know, you don't
Yeah,
like those, but we need those stickers.
Get a Sharpie and a shirt.
I know. He hates it.
I'm not going to start selling merch from some Chinese slave labor. Okay.
That's American made only.
Yeah. Now that's a compromise.
There you go. And honestly, you could do giveaways with it. You don't have to sell it.
That's true.
I'm sure someone would love to help you out with that. All right. So before we go into the questions, we'll go into the meme coins. Renee, if you want to cue up that movie, that clip. It's been like
This
a
one,
movie
right?
this past week.
It has been.
Yes, this video right here.
All right,
And it's 3 minutes. We'll play the first minute, and we'll go from there.
As this committee begins work on bipartisan legislation to provide certainty and clarity to the crypto market, it's critical that any bill we advance provides strong consumer protections. And this is why I'm incredibly concerned about the rise in so-called meme coins. In February, the SEC published a staff statement on meme coins, warning that they expose amateur investors to, quote, rug pull and pump and dump schemes.
Yeah.
Mr. Maceed, what do you think the effect of this staff memo will be on investors in meme coins? And do you think the SEC will bring civil actions or enforcement against any of these scammers?
Oh, Senator, thank you for the question. I think the SEC has said that these are not securities, and I would agree with that. The issue then becomes if they're being listed on platforms such as centralized exchanges where people are trading Bitcoin, what should we do about that? People say we want to regulate those platforms insofar as they trade Bitcoin. We should either say they can't trade other things that aren't regulated, or whatever they trade has to be subject to the same regulations. I think in terms of immediate effects, you have these things being traded, and people can misunderstand them, can get defrauded. I don't expect the SEC or anybody else to take actions about that unless it was really a very, very serious case of fraud, and that would be up to the Justice Department.
So,
Yeah, let me keep on going. Let me keep on going.
Well, I think that says it all right there. I mean,
Yeah.
Here's the thing. He's talking about the vector upon which they're actually listing it. So that's the exchanges. So they're trying to put into the laws how then they can turn the screws on the exchange to have these things regulated. And they should be, to be honest. I mean, we see it all the time on X, and Tina's been a huge help to try and bust these type of scams, and I've been raising the flags about all of it ever since I started, about the tactics that people use to sell these things when they're already pre-positioned with promises of profit, promises of this and that, it's going to go to the moon, whatever it is. And these things are marketed in that way. I mean, it is undeniable. And all these influencers that, they take the paid tweets to push this stuff, or they're already pre-positioned, like they got their hands caught in a cookie jar at this point. If any of these accounts that push this stuff, you should really look at them with the side eye, because this is defrauding people. All right. When there are legitimate technologies out there that actually have a use case, that actually can fundamentally change how we do business around the world. And it has a laundry list of other implications as well after that. So these things have literally made all of crypto look bad. They go on to talk about in that clip from the rest of it about Pump.Fun, where hundreds of thousands of dollars just gone because of this guy. And he went to prison for it, or they arrested him, they indicted him. But the point is, they're going after him, and all of these influencers are in on it, man. They're all in on it, and people like me and Tina and John D. Parody and you, like we're trying to emphasize to people how risky that stuff is, and it's worse than a casino, because a casino has the gaming commission, where it is ensuring that you are participating in a game of chance. There's nothing with these damn meme coins. Zero. There's no oversight at all about it whatsoever. So don't even buy the narrative that it is a casino, because it's not. Even the casino has a little bit of protection for the regular people. There's nothing with this. And everyone should just stay the hell away from it. And the people pushing it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the people pushing it.
Yep.
They are just trying to make money off of your loss, which is they're scamming you. But I wanted to touch on Pump.Fun, like fun, not so fun facts about it. Okay. So 7 million tokens were launched on Pump.Fun January 2024, with 3.8 million by January 25. 98.6 of the tokens were identified as rug pulls or pump and dump schemes. 98.6%. This is why X, if you remember, was it a month or so? They gave Pump.Fun the account the boot. 98.6. Crazy.
Yep.
Only 97K tokens maintained at least 1,000 in liquidity, which indicates they're a scam. Most likely.
Exactly. And that's the entire point that we have always tried to emphasize to whoever chooses to be our readers or our subscribers or whatever else. Because like me, like anybody can subscribe to me. I'm trying not to put things behind a paywall or anything, but I'm very explicit about everything I'm saying. That's not a scam. Like, that is literally you supporting me to be a journalist. There's nothing about it to where you're going to have a profit. These people are pushing these meme coins and pushing community just to move you to action. And then you put your money in, hoping and praying that something's going to happen, that you're going to get, the Lambo, and then boom. And then here's what they'll do. They'll take one or two instances of some guy that made money off of it and then parade that around all throughout X. That look what this guy, he made millions with me. They don't tell you that guy was pre-positioned with them. It's all fake.
You know what? It's funny because a couple days ago, I do a lot of networking events and meetings and whatever for our businesses, and I was invited to like what I thought was like a mentorship networking thing. And what you're explaining right now is what I walked into, and it was an MLM scheme system. And if people aren't familiar with that, it's essentially a legal pyramid scheme system. And I'm not, obviously going to say the people's names or whatever, but they parade one of their top sellers, who's been there for so many years. This guy was there for like 40 plus years, and he's rich. He's got his wife there. They pull on your heart, with their story and self-made and this can be you. And you look up the company and you do your own research and you see that majority, it was like 95% of people lose their money when they deal with this particular MLM scheme. And it's the same thing. It makes me think of the same thing. And it's sad because saying what you were saying before, Vinny, it was it's bad. It's a bad look for crypto. And it's been hard for crypto to gain legitimacy in these last couple of years because of these people. And they're like, oh, we're family. We're in this together. We're building a community. Yeah, exactly.
We're the XRP army guys. That's what they love to say.
Yeah.
That we're a big family.
Yep.
And they just want to screw you. They use those words to get you.
Yeah, her and I, we've caught their hands in the cookie jar so many times and called them all out that her and I are freaking pariah. But like I'm so glad everybody is just saw that we were the ones that were right the whole time, and especially now, like whenever we heard about the Pump.Fun guy getting arrested, like all of a sudden we did a big celebration. It's like, hey, finally, some validity here. Like, yeah, these guys are all in on it together. All right, they have discords going on, and even John D. Parody, he commented one time on one of my threads that they are all in a discord together, like trying to coordinate how they're going to propagandize the next meme coin to get to try and bilk more from their people. And that is it's just evil. Especially when Mike, right now, what we have in our hands, what we have this opportunity to buy for less than $3 is a money processor that can literally handle massive amounts of transactions and decentralize the Federal Reserve, getting rid of fiat monetary system that we have right now. They will draw people in with talking about this legitimate company and this legitimate product, this tech. And then that's when they'll take all that trust that they built up about telling you the truth about that, and then start to screw you by shuffling the meme coins in. Oh yeah, you trust me on this, trust me on this one. Like, gosh. So
exactly. And it's funny because back when we first started doing shows together, Vince, people weren't even doing that tactic. They were just straight up like, here's a meme coin, blah, blah, blah. The family thing. It's like reminds me of Dom Toretto in Fast and the Furious. It's like, we're not family over it when you're trying to take all my money and make me lose everything.
It works though, and it works. And I see the same group that they just keep doing it over and nothing happens to them because we don't have any laws or regulations to stop them from doing it. So they're going to keep doing it till they can't anymore. And I see it like right now, there's one called Ban Exchange. That's a shady token by the same group. And I'll call it out because I know they're not going to come at me because they can't, because it's literally a scam.
Yeah, and they propagandize altogether. And it just floods everybody's scroll until they just basically emotionally beat them down until they buy it,
Well, they use like words that get you to feel like that you have to get it.
Yeah,
like these certain like keywords, like don't miss out on this. Like they get you like so you feel like you're just like going to miss out on like a huge opportunity.
FOMO,
exactly.
And then like Mike said, they'll parade around the one guy who they don't tell you that he was already pre-positioned. They say, look how much money he made. And then all of a sudden everybody's freaking broke. So they're going to take what little they got and they're like, oh my God, I think I can really make something. It's not going to happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. Like I don't do any trading advice whatsoever because I understand that that is the type of stuff that leads to just absolute ruin. You find a company that is legitimate, you find a technology that has a use, and the most important question at the end of any analysis that you make about these products, these techs, is how does its use correlate to its rise in price? Because that's what you want, right? As the investor, you want to have a gain from it for either price appreciation or to generate a yield from it by deploying it. And we know all of that about Ripple and XRP, that is legitimate. And people need to take that same eye of evaluation and put it towards all this other stuff. And it fails. It fails every single time. And you have these people that have these massive accounts, these massive platforms, 100,000 followers, whatnot. Like, I'm pretty convinced that most of that is bots.
Yeah,
they look like it. Come on, you see the comments. It's all the European bots.
Yeah,
like European girls are always in the comments. Or lately, I've been seeing I'll get Vincent. Have you seen it? They'll make a comment on your post, like, "Oh yeah, that's a great point." This person, they'll at them something, and then you go click it, they've already blocked you. Mm-hmm. You can't comment on it. So I even get bots, and I feel like we get botted on purpose. So X can look at our accounts and then be like, all right, we'll suppress them a bit because they're using bots, which happens sometimes, especially when we go after certain.
Oh yeah. And we don't even have to go after them completely. I don't even have to mention them. All I got to do is just talk about the tactics.
That's it. That's what
here I mean. They show up. Like the other day, I had a comment that hey Vinny, why are all these influencers pushing cold wallets? And then I just responded to it. Oh, it's easy because they're getting paid to do so. I had the offers. I told them to go to hell. And then some guy with 75,000 followers commented underneath that and said, build something or shut the fuck up. It's like, and then I screenshotted the whole thing because it's like, dude, you're just outed yourself. Like, you literally just, I've seen these offers. They have given me so many damn offers that a lot of these other influencers would sell their grandmother for. But I know that these cold wallets or whatnot, where the hell are the microchips coming from? How do you know it's not backdoored? Does the company have insurance? Does who do you sue if something happens? There's so many other questions that are not answered by these people that are selling these cold wallets. Which, Mike, you use Zaman, I use Zaman. It's a real company. It's on the XRP ledger. Like it's so simple. I
mean, I saw you I think it was 2 days ago, maybe yesterday even. All these days are coming together.
Oh honestly. My
God! But Yaman, I call it Yaman or Zaman, whatever you call it. I call it Yaman because it's just funny.
Yaman.
It's like Yaman, you gotta. They went down, and right away they're communicating with the people that are subscribed to them and letting you know what's going on, and they're even back better than ever. I never had a doubt in my mind when it did go down for a sec.
It looks like they did an update.
Yeah. But Vince tweeted. He even tweeted this is a real company. This is why you go with this wallet. So it just, people are shot. I just the reason why I love doing these is because there are so many new people in this space, and there's going to be so many more new people coming into this space. Yep. Whenever I talk to people out in the world, in the matrix, I'm just like, you are in the .com boom. You are in the cell phone boom. You're in Web 1 boom. But for the financial system, and one day it's all the light switch is going to turn on and everything's going to be different. And you're going to say, what the hell is going on? Because obviously they're not marketing in the MSM. Hey, they're just like Bitcoin. And they're not explaining, even
they completely sidestep it.
Exactly.
They sidestep it all the time. Every time you look at one of these influencers or whatnot, or pundits, talking heads, they will talk about all the other subjects, immigration, Epstein, this, that, and the other, but they always leave this huge, giant, gaping vacuum in between all of that. But this is the one thing that links it all together. I mean, just take, for instance, the whole Epstein saga that's going on right now. They suppressed the list. Well, why would you do that? It's because you're literally using it. I mean, that blackmail was, and I've been saying this for months. I've been telling all my people this is coming because guess what? We're trying to navigate this little area. We have a lot of de-dollarization going on, and remember when the one big beautiful bill was going through the House, and Trump went there. He did one text about treasonous thugs, and then it gets passed, and then right as it's now fully passed and signed, they deep six the Epstein thing. It's because they're leveraging this in order to move these people, because you're not going to move them with money. But they already got the money. The only thing that's going to move these people is threats of exposure and threats of prosecution. That's why when we are seeing the 2020 election stolen narrative coming back up, Kash Patel handed over evidence that the Chinese, facilitated a lot of these fake ballots going on. So we had that story bubble up. We have the story about, Brennan and Comey now going down and being investigated for the Russian collusion thing. But it's not just them. It's everybody that surrounds them that's still inside the power structure that could be prosecuted and put in prison. So these are the pressure points by which Trump is using this leverage, these vectors of threats of prosecution, in order to facilitate movement of the agenda, passage of legislation, conclusion of these wars around the world, trade deals. All of these people are at the highest echelons of power. And here's the essential conundrum that you face. If you burn that guy that you have by the balls right now, who takes their place? And do you have them by the balls? No. So you have to make a decision. Now, everything from what we're seeing, and especially with all this legislation being passed, all these tariffs that are boiling out, all these other sovereign nations out of the Federal Reserve dollar leverage system, it's literally to facilitate the ending of the fiat monetary system and the switching over into this new era of backed and audited units of account, of decentralized reserves and methods of payments. And it's to get rid of this dark financier of all of this stuff, from CIA coups, propaganda, blackmail, the USAID money going to journalists to warp everybody's mind and pay for trans parades in Bangladesh. Like, it all comes from the money printer. It all comes from that. And all of these tactics are there in order to facilitate its survival. So he's now at the poker table and he's saying, okay, we have these vectors of prosecution. We're going to use it in order to bring the system down. So it's a shit situation, but I see him as a responsible executive of using this and saying, look, we got to get the fuck out of this system because that's the greater evil.
Yeah, no, well said. I want to get into the Senate. I think we'll do a mid comments update because there's a few. Then we'll get into the questions about the Senate because we did have a big week this week. We have a big week coming up. It's just a beautiful time to be alive, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. We got Mario tuning in saying, what is your evaluation of where you see XRP price-wise to be by the end of this year?
Vincent hates that. I'll tell you that right.
Is banned.
Yes.
It's banned. We don't talk
do
about
price
it.
predictions.
And
just
there's reasons behind that.
No price predictions. I can't. You can't put a price on a new technology.
Yeah, there's reasons behind that. It's because you need to learn how important it is and then how it goes up in price. It goes up by being used with the frequency, amounts, and volume of these transactions. And Ripple, as a company, has gained all the licenses. They're trying to be a bank. I got it confirmed by David himself that it is a full financial system wherein competing units of accounts that are backed by stores of value transmits over a decentralized method of payment, the ledger, through a means of exchange, XRP, and as either gas for a domestic transaction or as a money processor to convert into whatever else has a trust line as one of the competing units of account that are hosted on a ledger within 3 to 5 seconds. That's a full financial system. They have all the licenses for it. They made the acquisitions of Head and Road and a slew of other companies, you know, from custody all up to storage. And that is for the moment when the laws are passed and they are effective, that they can just say, all right, we're ready to go. And then boom, now we're doing business. So that's what you need to understand as far as XRP goes. And then you can start to use your imagination about how many transactions are going to need to use XRP to flow through that system. So you can't put a price on this stuff. Nobody can. And the people that are giving you price predictions, those are the very people that you need to stay away from. Okay? Because what they're doing is they're using that tactic of a price prediction in order for you to FOMO and for them to penny flip off of you. Because none of this is happening before. This is happening before the laws. So it's just market manipulation.
And I want to mention, like, you know, I will always get excited when we pump in a little bit. It's just how I am. I'm excited. But I do 100% understand we need laws.
Oh, yeah.
We need to use it to gain money. This pump that we are seeing, yes, I love it. It's fun to watch. We all get excited. Is it going to go back down? Probably. Because it's manipulated. They are using the steam off of the yesterday's committee to use it as an excuse to pump. That's what I think. Yeah,
exactly. You're absolutely right, Tina. And they traffic all the charts, all the price predictions, all the bullshit to get people to FOMO in. So because they know it's gonna go, they'll pull their bags after everybody's already back in, and then take it and then tell them, yeah, hold.
Because I fell for it this time. I'm not gonna even lie. I got so excited and I'm like, I gotta buy some. Even I fell for it. I talk about pump and dumps and scams and this, but even people that are educated fall for it. And I'm 100% transparent because I'm like, what if in my head? What if we don't go back down? What if we go past 3 and we never see under 2 again? That's what most people think. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? So I bought it. What was it? $270. I bought a couple hundred. What? We're back down to what I bought it as.
Right.
It went up to like almost 3 today.
Tony
everybody just needs to stand back and just say, look, we don't have the laws, which means it's not being used. Therefore, what we're seeing right now is not a sustainable rise. And quit looking at it.
It is nice to look at.
I just always buy. You just always have to buy, keep buying, you know, and Tina always says this, if you have $5, if you have 10, if you have a couple hundred, just buy as much as you can. Because one day, I mean, we're going to look back and be like, oh my God, remember when it was X amount, you know, and
anything under 3 in my head right now, you're good.
Yeah.
If you want to buy it now, buy it now. If you want to buy it at 302, go ahead. As long as you're consistently buying it and you just keep buying it with even like weekly for me or monthly if you can.
Yeah.
Responsibly though. Yes. Yeah. I'm irresponsible.
Yeah.
But responsibly for everybody else.
Yeah. Just be responsible with it. You do have time before the laws are implemented. Don't let anybody tell you don't. Okay, and that's another thing. That's another tactic they use. They're like, you don't know what's coming. It's like, no, dude, you don't know what's coming because people clearly have some time before these laws are effective, and therefore the people who can transmit the volume, frequency, and amounts of money, which is all from the massive institutions, they're the ones that are going to be moving this because it was designed for them. It was designed to handle this amount of transactions at the highest level. And we are just lucky enough to be able to have a few, thousand or whatever of these money processors.
Yes. Renee, continue.
We also got Josh B saying, centralized exchanges. I hear Vince saying this a lot. Listen, people, if you're not, it's real simple. That's what he says. We also got Jose saying Xtina.
Hi.
Rob
Jose.
Red saying Vinny asked for 3 cents daily. Knowing Vinny as I have come to know him, he did a lot of soul searching before he would even ask for that.
I had people vote on the price for $1 a month just so I can keep just do this full time. Because here's the problem. We got a slew of people selling merch, pushing meme coins, lying to people for clicks, and a whole bunch of other shit. You can roll back on my wall. I've never done a chart, a price prediction, hopium, whatever else. And I've talked about everything under the sun, give you the straightest take. And I've called the ball on so many things this past 7 months. And it's because I'm coming from 12 years of studying this stuff. I was a delegate for Ron Paul when I was 19. My family was targeted for it. I had to suffer some, health issues afterwards from just the stress of all of it. And I was in, management and analysis inside of e-commerce. So I know how business works. I worked around people with licenses. I get how all this stuff is. And I've read philosophy, economics, history, law, all that stuff. So that's the perspective I can offer. That is a journalistic perspective that I can give to help you understand, have the best information from a honest source that you can, so you can make the best decisions for you, your life, your family, everybody else. And I'm not trying to sell you nothing, dude. Like if you want to support that, it is $1 a month. And buddy, I need it so I can focus on this 24/7 because it's a 24/7 news cycle and not be doing fucking drywall when I should be helping the people,
I just want to mention one more thing that you were talking about. We're about to get a wave, huge wave of new people that has nothing about crypto. They know nothing about crypto. And elderly people.
I gotta be
somebody needs to. I mean, I don't see anybody else out here really that can break it down. And that's all for anybody. Answer questions. He answers questions and comments all the time, all day and night.
All day.
I feel like he doesn't sleep.
I don't.
So we really need somebody. Yeah, he does actually. It's crazy.
Timestamps on the posts.
Oh, somebody said cough, cough.
Crypto Hulk. Rob Red also saying the thing that has caught my attention is the XRP hatred. It's like crypto has its own TBS.
It's literally because XRP has Ripple and Brad Garlinghouse, and Ripple was targeted as Trump was leaving office because they were the actual threat to the dollar leverage system because it is a financial system. Something these other nations can use to dodge sanctions. Whenever we saw the attacks on Iran go on, like you saw, there was a highly sanctioned country, and guess what? XRP went down right then and there because they weren't transacting with it at that moment because they stole their crypto. Israelis went in, broke into the exchange and stole it. Like, this is what we're talking about when I talk about like the sanctions and the geopolitics of XRP and the ledger and this whole shift over into this new system, because the United States through SWIFT, through the Federal Reserve, has literally had the boot on the neck on all of these sovereign nations. And fiat monetary systems and money printers, they love warfare. That's how they stay relevant, because it's a trust me bro system. People are always under threat of violence or whatever else. And it brings people closer in and say, yeah, keep using this unit of account, but don't ever ask for an audit. Like, so that's the whole point. When you have competing units of account, trust vis-a-vis transactions are going to float to the most trusted unit of account. And that's going to be the one that has full audits, that has proofs of reserves, and you know exactly the provenance of it. And people that want to say, oh, it's the beast system, it's a beast system. How is it the beast system when anybody can run a validator or a node, which means anybody can transact, and the custodian of it, which is now BNY Mellon, which is a bank that's going to be custodying the reserves for RLUSD. But Ripple is also they produce this product. They are not going to shut people off from transacting. They're technologically prohibited from doing so, number one. Number two, if that word ever got out that they did that, they're going to lose trust and market share overnight, Yeah, so it's not in their interest to do that. And on the third part of that, they would be held liable under civil and criminal law for deprivation of rights if they are ever to try and shut someone off from transacting. So the beast system, the matrix, is what we've been living under our whole lives. So that's the real thing that's going on here. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. We want audits. We want transparency. I mean, the amount of debt, we're running $2.5 trillion worth of deficits, and Congress didn't do shit about it. And he's telling Jerome Powell to cut the rates, and Jerome's about ready to resign here real soon.
Yeah, that's
all
crazy.
All that does, and coupling with de-dollarization going on around the world and the tax cuts, it's just flood more Federal Reserve notes out into the ether, causing more inflation. And with more inflation, that's more pressure for people to make this transition over to, stable coins and units of account that actually have a provenance to it. That's the shift that's going on underway. And every single time you see another stable coin added to the ledger, just think of that as a sovereign being represented, because that in and of itself is a on-off ramp into the local economy that produced that stable coin. That's the whole point here. It's an entire financial system.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Sorry, didn't rant.
No, this is it. This is the place.
We got Zach whole thing. Zach Rectum 7 Crypto Sensei.
No.
We got Eric F saying a lot of Canadians in regards to the bots.
Are they?
That's what he's saying.
Oh.
Vinny, who do you think Satoshi is? The CIA or some of the XRPL creators?
I think that's playing the parlor game. The parlor game is who shot Kennedy. The parlor game is who is Satoshi. The point is that if you don't know who it is, you can't base investments off of it, because we just had those Bitcoin wallets wake up after 14 years.
That was nuts.
The point being here, though, is that is inherently an insecure asset if you have that type of a threat. And the scenario I have in my mind is it'll be 5:01 on a Friday that all of a sudden nobody can do shit about it till Monday morning on the trading day with those ETFs. And that's a lot of 401ks that have the gun to their head from whoever is holding that bag, whether it be the intel agencies or whoever else. Let's not play the parlor game, and let's just say this thing is not a secure asset. We don't know where this threat could come from, and therefore we can't use it. And it fails on the use case anyway, because it can't handle the amount of transactions. It was billed as a money, and then it morphed into a store of value. But if you want to have something as a store of value, it has to be accepted cross-culturally and cross-border, and it's not. So it fails there too. Fails on the energy usage, because the energy to run the damn thing, it's astronomical. We're going to need that for our regular power grid. And then you got Michael Saylor out there, and he's getting sued by a class action with MicroStrategy, and he's taking
what was that? I don't know if I heard that. Is that recent?
Oh yeah, it was within the last month or so.
Oh
yeah, MicroStrategy's getting sued. Class action.
Cool.
Because, yeah, the whole thing, and it's all dependent upon Tether providing the liquidity. And does Tether do audits? No, they just do attestations, which is not a third-party audit. And that's what got them kicked out in Europe under the MiCA regulations. And right now, as the Genius Act, as it's written, they're going to be kicked out of here. They'll be given a 3-year grace period in order to comply. But just think about the mid-level managers at these places. Like, I was mid-level management, analysis, whatever. I know exactly how them guys are thinking. They're going to be like, why the hell would I use Tether when we don't know if it's compliant, when RLUSD we know for a fact is compliant? They would be in breach of their fiduciary duty to even deal in Tether when RLUSD is right there. And the more RLUSD that's used, therefore transactions are flowing through XRP. This is not difficult, and that's how the XRP goes up in value by more transactions flowing through that and the ledger. So these mid-level management guys, they're not going to even screw around with something that's in the gray area because they want to keep their jobs.
We also got some snaps coming from XRP the Moon. What's up?
Oh, yo, what's up? That's actually my boy.
Oh, cool.
That's your friend. I remember. Yes.
I'm not gonna dox him. I don't know
He's
if he
cool.
wants to
That's a
who
cool
he
guy.
is, but great guy, good dude. Glad he's here.
We also got Zachary Hull. This is in reference to you guys talking about predictions XRP. Yeah, you guys, prediction fagging is banned for the money processor.
Banned.
We also got Rob Red saying buy, never sell.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We also got another comment on YouTube saying, Vinny, try an Andrew Wilson type TikTok invasion. Get in there and talk shit. People donate money for show.
I talk shit all day, every day.
That's like what he does.
All day, every day, man.
That's our favorite thing to do.
Who's this guy?
I talk shit constantly, and they hate it. They hate it when I fucking like quote post them on something. Like I can just, I wonder if they literally are like, fuck. I hope he does.
Or they beat you. Or
they hate my guts. I love it.
We also got Tony saying, "Woo, let's go! Great show, people. What's up, Tony? We miss you."
Yeah.
Ricky's saying, my Roomba found my cryptocurrencies cold wallet that I've been searching for since the start of the year. It was under my bed.
Of course, classic spot.
Only the Roomba goes under there, and the normal hover won't.
All right.
We got Nelson saying, "Hey,
what up, Nelson?
Cool eye emoji. What's up?"
Hi.
Rob saying, "Notice Garling
Yes.
House." I almost said Garlic House too.
Yeah, I've been.
Not the garlic house.
Was before the Senate, not Saylor. That spoke volumes.
Exactly.
The Maxis were crying.
Oh, dude. They haven't said anything. Of course they haven't said anything. And it's funny because that right there goes back to the photo we've talked about on this show before, Vinny. The photo of Brad with Trump, the president, and
they gave him Eric.
I know they gave him Eric.
Yeah, exactly. And Sailors with Eric, so it just shows, like.
I don't have Eric. Thanks.
Yeah, there it is. Renee's pulling it up.
See it.
Or she wanted to see it.
Is it this one?
Yeah, it's that one. So dope.
All right, hold on. Stand by.
She's pulling it up just to show the people how beautiful it is.
Oh, the pictures.
Yeah.
I need that poster. I want that as a poster.
Oh, definitely.
That would be cool.
There we go. Oh, wait, just kidding. There we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
There it is.
That was right before he got elected. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Ripple donated tied for the most amount to any president elect to their party.
For the crypto ball.
Yeah.
It was right before the inauguration, not the election.
Yes, the inauguration.
January when that happened. I remember us doing the episode about it.
Such a power play.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean it's obvious. Like they are for real company. They have all the relationships already set up.
Very established.
Exactly. And then all you got out of the Bitcoin people is Saylor, who lost $4 billion in a day in 2000. And he's doing the same shit now. And then you got that other Jack Mallers fool out there. It's just
shady.
Those people are a joke. They can't explain to you anything that matters about Bitcoin. Like they will just keep uttering the same things when they can't answer who's Satoshi, where are the bags, why isn't it being adopted more by foreign countries, as the store value you think it is. And not to mention the fact that, look, gold did the rehypothecation back to the United States. And we have this supposed audit that should be going on with the Fort Knox. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I
forgot about that. I totally forgot.
Yeah. I think that all of these assets have been flown back here to the United States. These trade deals are being solidified and set up. The The tax cuts have been pushed and passed, and we have all of these methods that they're trying to inflow so much fiat into the economy in order to obsolete the Federal Reserve note. I mean, they're already talking about no taxes on crypto. So wait a minute. Are you telling me that we're not going to have taxes on a unit of account, a means of exchange, and a means of exchange? Therefore, we can just start using it and dodge taxes right then and there. Like that's the whole point. When we start using it, like, say if you go to a garage sale or you're running one, if you sell all your stuff for RLUSD, how much taxes do you owe? You know, nothing. Like as it is right now, or even if you sell a car. If you're going to sell it for, say, like the state minimum here in Missouri is like $500. Say $500 in Federal Reserve notes and 1,500 RLUSD. What's the taxes that you owe? It's only on the 500 Federal Reserve notes. So this is how we can get the hell out of this and sidestep taxes in our own lives. You know, that's what I see. You know, because this whole tax system that they have for us is tied to the Federal Reserve note itself. And if you're not using it, you don't owe them.
Just real quick before she goes to the next comment, have you guys ever seen, and this is gonna sound crazy, but Scottie Pippen on stage with Michael Saylor, and he's like, I know, I met Satoshi. Like, forget about what he said, but just Saylor's face in that moment is just like, dude, you're gonna like ruin my life. If you know, it's one of the funniest videos. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But sorry, continue, Renee.
How that guy has a platform to talk about finance, I'll never understand. I mean, the dude played basketball.
Right.
Like,
no, it's crazy. I mean, he does support XRP, but like he does also support Bitcoin and shit like that. So
yeah, pumping that bag of his.
Shout out Brian coming in. Let's go. This
Brian.
is awesome. Comment, like, subscribe.
Yes.
oh yeah.
MJ in the house saying SEC case needs to officially end.
Yes.
When official announcement coming from them? And Burr is commenting back on that saying, MJ, I bet it will be Saturday.
But again, like I said earlier, it doesn't matter what this case comes out. I mean, that $125 million in fiat that for the fine is an escrow with a third party. So the odds of them paying it in fiat is pretty high instead of X. It would be preferable, in my mind, if they would just pay it in XRP, the fine, so that way it goes straight into the strategic stockpile for XRP to then be deployed in the future as a yield-generating asset, and we can take the price appreciation for it as well for the United States government. But point being here is the legislation that gets passed and signed in can render all of it moot or reaffirm it. That's just checks and balances.
Yeah.
So let's not assign too much meaning to this SEC case, is my point.
I'm seeing a lot of speculation that they're going to use XRP so it can go into the stockpile, but there's no confirmation. It's just hearsay.
What we have right now as a fact is that 125 million Federal Reserve notes is in third-party escrow waiting to be paid to the SEC. That is a fact. So I really doubt at this point. I would love for them to use XRP to pay it, but it's not. The odds aren't looking like that right now.
Yeah. No, I just think the SEC case is just another step. It's not a big step, but it's a baby step, and all steps are important, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you know, it's what I think for regular financial institutions, it's the fact that they went through the fire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like they want to see that. Nobody else is doing that.
Exactly.
I'm for it. Go ahead, Renee.
Nelson's also saying drop is going up right now. It is at $2.74. He's talking
Go
about
easy
XRP.
on him, Vince. He's new.
$2.72.
Go
Get
easy
it
on
right,
him.
Nelson.
He's new. That's nice, Nelson, but you know, nothing's going to change until the laws are put into place. As we've said.
Absolutely. Yeah, just do what you can when you can. You have time before the laws are effective. Now, next week, though, the Genius Act, once it passes the House, it's going to Trump's desk and he can sign it. So that's the first law that gets passed. And another thing people need to understand about these different laws, we got the Genius Act, we got the Stable, Clarity, Fit 21, and I think there's another one. Anyway, but the point being,
BDC Surveillance Act. Did you say that?
Yeah, that one too.
Yep.
Point being here is each one of these laws, they have to deal with the market. It is unlocking another facet of the market, which means it broadens the utility of XRP. So what that means is, look, it's going to be stair-stepped for the utility implementation of XRP itself. So one law gets passed and may go up a bit, another law may go up a bit. Like, it's going to be stair-step because these markets are going to be unlocked by this legislation. That's the point. So wait till all of them are going to get passed and implemented.
That's actually perfectly said.
Yeah.
Like, even today, even though nothing has been passed, even just talking about it, that's one little step, very small step. Even though it's manipulation, people getting excited, it's getting people excited to buy XRP, right? That's our first little step. And then you'll see it gradually. Like, you'll hit little milestones. It might get to 3. It might get to 4 after one step. 5.
Right.
We'll see. He's like, hey, let's not talk about the numbers.
well, the point being here is,
you know what I'm saying now.
The laws are unlocking more value to be transacted through XRP by the people that need to be able to use it as a financial technology. And that's the entire point that everyone needs to understand about these laws. Like, I've gotten so many questions like, do all of them need to pass, or is we just waiting on one? It's like, well, yes and no. Each one of them is going to allow more value to be transmitted through XRP and the ledger. So yes, one can be what we're waiting for, but also the other ones are going to help too. So, wait till all of them are done, man. And then you'll have the full range of value that you can take advantage of, either as price appreciation or the real goal, which is to deploy it into a liquidity pool to then take a yield so you don't have to work,
Please. We'll still work, though. We're still
right. Yeah, I'll still be doing this shit.
Me too.
I like talking to people. So.
Yeah.
We got a question from Ann B saying, honest question, why is the U.S. signaling a Bitcoin reserve then?
They haven't. I mean, what did they do? They took the shit that was confiscated and slapped a reserve sticker on it and said, yeah, we're going to figure out budget neutral ways to add when we're broke. Like, it was a political narrative. It was a political thing he did to please those people. But at the end of the day, those Bitcoin wallets just woke up. You don't think they already know that Michael Saylor, he lost all that money. Trump was in New York at the time. Like, he knows all
he's not stupid.
Yeah, he ain't dumb. Like, that's number one. Number two, who's Satoshi, where the bags? And that's what those wallets are, that brings that up. That, look, we don't know how secure this thing is. They haven't added any. And in fact, they just transferred a bunch of ETH to, I think, Coinbase to sell it. Like, so they're not going to be using these beta test coins like Ethereum or Bitcoin or whatever else when it's designed to be a yield generating asset like XRP is, like, that's just what I see.
Yeah.
Rob Red saying, are there actual people out there drawing passive incomes on DeFi? I don't even understand it, but if people are supposedly drawing $5,000 daily, would everyone be doing it?
Well, here's the thing about it. I don't believe any of that shit. We don't have the laws, so I don't trust them anyway. Like, all we have are narratives to go by. I mean, there's no proof of any of this stuff. I mean, they say you can get this type of percent from that exchange or whatever. And, maybe that could be true. But the point being here is I would never, ever trust these people with my XRP when not all of the laws are in place. And when the time comes to start to stake stuff with legitimate institutions, and that's the whole point. I want a legitimate institution. I want somebody with a license. I want a professional that's going to handle my money. We have this guy. His name's Josh. Tina, Josh. Yes. He's a legitimate financial advisor. Okay, and he sticks his neck out way far than what he should, I think. Just affirm what we've been talking about in our spaces. And, you know, hats off to the guy, like, for doing that for all of us. And he even says, like, look, I can only talk about certain things through the vehicle of an ETF. I can't talk about it as the crypto it is, but I can talk about it as a secured asset by the ETF. And he's like, this is the most fundamental change that's underway right now. And that's what you need to understand is, like, these people that have licenses, they are so restricted on what they can or cannot say right now. But after the laws, they're in the game. And that's when you can actually go to them and they can start to give you good, solid advice on how to stake, where to deploy it to. All of these things that you will be protected by because they have a fiduciary duty to you. Not these influencers. They don't have a duty to you, all right? When you go to a licensed financial advisor, they do, okay? And that's what these laws are going to allow for you as the regular citizen to go up to these people and contract their services to preserve your wealth.
Yeah.
This comment Mike likes, Scottie Pippen hasn't even met all his kids.
I was dying when I read that earlier. That's too good. Great comment there. That's
we got another comment saying, but also so much unrealized profit by micro. As a shareholder, I would want them to sell and make a profit. Realized.
Well, how underwater are they? I mean, he's taking out loans with everybody and spreading that risk. I mean, his sell price is what? His average sell is 68,000 right now. So if Bitcoin crashes below that, what the hell does he do? You know, and he always says, he's like, I'm never selling. Yeah. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. He's running a company. He's gonna sell. Like,
yeah. Wasn't he like getting loans pretty much from like just like his viewers?
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, to buy more Bitcoin. It's super scary. It's spreading the risk. That's why I keep saying it's a dirty financial bomb, and it's probably run by the intelligence services.
Yeah, so, CIA or something.
Yeah, just waiting for it to get to the right treasuries to then hold people at gunpoint and say, "Hey, we'll drop this bag unless you do this appropriation fund to fund us for the next 5 years." Mm-hmm. You know, that's how corrupt this system is. Like, we see it every day.
We got two more comments here to catch up, and then so we got Rob Red saying, "Vinny, explain how dividends are going to work. People are starting to ask me, please."
Okay, here's the deal: when you buy the ETF, all right, from wherever these, so then that means that whoever you're buying the ETF from, they're going to then go out into the exchange, buy the underlying asset, and then after the laws, that is when they're going to deploy that asset for them to then take a yield and then split it with you as a dividend. That's how that's going to work.
Yes.
Yes. And last comment we got here for now. First time catching a chat. Vincent always has the great takes. Been following Tina lately and grateful for her work. And Downside gets a sub off. Oh, Downtime gets a sub off top for being a New York sports guy.
Yeah, no. We have a sports show. Sportsport runs every morning at 10 a.m. And the boys that do the show, Tony and Barnes, Mets, Yankees, Rangers, the whole shebang. So I am also, but that's their thing.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, XRP or Lyric. So let's get into it. All right, we've done some questions from the comments. We're 2 days out, guys, from the Senate Banking Committee hearing on July 9th. How do you guys think Brad Garlinghouse's testimony has shifted the narrative around XRP and its regulatory future?
Well, I think Brad just gave it so much pedigree. Mm-hmm. Okay, pedigree in his testimony, his professionalism, how he explained it, and everybody should go read his testimony. In fact, you can pull up some of it if you want. We can just read through it, or just him just talking.
You have a video.
Yeah. Hey, perfect. Well, let's just pull it up then.
Yeah, let's do a minute of it.
And then we'll talk about
it. Is. You're so awesome. Good job.
Thanks.
Way to go.
Renee's subbing in.
Good morning, Chair Scott, Ranking Member Warren, and members of the committee. Thank you for the opportunity to appear before you today. My name is Brad Garlinghouse. I'm the CEO of Ripple. Ripple has approximately 900 employees across our 15 offices worldwide. We were founded more than a decade ago with a mission to enable the Internet of Value, a world where money moves like information does today. We build software products that power cross-border payments, stablecoins, and digital custody. Ripple helps financial institutions reduce friction, unlock efficiencies, and serve their customers better. These are not abstract concepts. We work every day with banks that rely on our technology to deliver real results in the global economy. Ripple leverages the XRP ledger, a decentralized, battle-tested, open-source blockchain, as well as its native digital asset, XRP, to facilitate payments. XRP is built to enable fast, low-cost, and highly scalable transactions. From the start, Ripple made the deliberate choice to work with policymakers and regulators, not around them. Mm-hmm. We have taken a compliance-first approach, operating with over 60 payment, service, crypto, and money transmitter licenses domestically and globally. With regard to the topic of this hearing, we believe smart legislation should be based on several core principles. Consumers need protection from fraud and scams. Markets need proper oversight. Bad actors need to be kept in check. And innovation must thrive. A constructive and workable framework for digital assets and stablecoins that achieves these goals will expand access to financial markets, create jobs, strengthen the economy, and put the U.S. on the path to being a global blockchain and crypto leader. For the last decade, the legal and regulatory uncertainty surrounding crypto has prohibited meaningful progress in the U.S. At Ripple, we certainly saw firsthand how the lack of clear rules of the road can be weaponized to target good actors. In turn, the technology, jobs, and tax dollars that go with it are pushed offshore, reducing regulatory oversight and putting consumers at higher risk. This has severely harmed American businesses, investors, and of most concerned consumers. Ripple was the tip of the spear for this regulation by enforcement campaign and was subject to an enforcement action in 2020. We were the first leading U.S. company to be sued by the SEC. We and many others understood that a loss here would be a death knell for the industry. Fortunately, after...
I feel like, we don't have to watch the whole thing. Definitely go watch it on your own, but he did cover a lot there.
Yeah, and one thing he just did, and everyone needs to wake up to this, because a lot of the narratives that people love to throw at Ripple is like, oh, they're not going to use XRP. He literally is saying we are leveraging its native token, XRP, to facilitate highly scalable transactions. He's saying it right there. And I've been one of the ones to, explain exactly how that happens. But it all happens after the laws are passed for it to scale up to its most efficient working price to handle the amount of transactions that are going to be flowing through it. It is so simple, so simple. And this is just a statement of how good this company is. I mean, I was lambasted after I went to Vegas because I got that quote by David Schwartz himself. I made a video contemporaneously because I didn't want to put him on camera. And I went out there and I said, here's what he said. He confirmed my question that it is a financial system. I was starting to be called a liar by a whole bunch of people. But guess what? David Schwartz commented on my post when I requested him to solidify that, yes, this did happen. I did get this quote, and he did do that. How good of a company is this? That is somebody,
that was awesome.
A broke ass fucking journalist from Missouri.
He didn't have to do that.
Didn't have to.
Yes.
But he did. He did. That's the caliber of company we are dealing with, the caliber of people, okay? Because it is a trust. Banking is all a trust. And this, although crypto is a trustless system, the Ripple company itself needs to have trust in order to work with the stakeholders in all of these institutions and everything else. And me getting it on the record, everybody hinted at it. Nobody bothered to ask. Getting it on the record is important to then present in a board meeting. Go talk to a congressman about it, because now it is a fact. This is how the real world is. If it's not on record, it doesn't matter. Hearsay evidence is worthless. And I got so much shit for it, saying, oh, we already knew this. We already knew it. No, you didn't, because you would have to watch thousands of hours of somebody's videos, and from 1,000 different accounts. Who the hell do you trust saying that it's a financial system? Nobody asked the guy in a very detailed question around monetary policy.
Mhm.
Is it a financial system? And yes, it is. And that's where we're at right now. We're waiting for the laws for it to be actually used.
Yeah, and not for nothing. Like, I mean, just look at Brad Garlinghouse. Look how he speaks. He's someone you could. My mom's from Bulgaria. I show her Brad Garlinghouse. She trusts him right away. I show her Vitalik. She thinks he's a drug addict. You know, so it's just someone you could trust. The way he speaks, the way he carries himself. It's good to have him leading Ripple, and it's just something you could get behind.
Yeah, sailor's red nose doesn't mean he's Santa Claus. All right.
He looks like he just blew some lines.
Yeah, right.
I mean, to keep up the lie, he's got to be all drugged up.
A lot of false confidence.
Yeah. I guess I'll go on to the next question. You guys all set with that one, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I just want to. I had notes for that one. Real quick.
No, of course. Take your time.
So your question was about like how the testimony will help XRP.
Yes.
I wrote it would push clarity, right? For the regulatory clarity, obviously. That's what Vinny was talking about. Advocating for bills like the Clarity Act to confirm XRP's non-security status. Increasing market confidence, which is very important. Expanding use cases, reducing risk, preventing the future SEC like lawsuits, which is
exactly. Yeah,
has been such a struggle. It was so politicalized. It was horrible. We're still dealing with it. I hope it's coming to an end, but that we need clarity with the SEC, especially. They went after Ripple like so hard. Driving long-term growth is also
now with Paul Atkins at the helm, they've totally shifted focus. And in fact, Gould is now the head of the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, which really, if you're thinking about stablecoins as units of account, that's where, and this as a financial technology, as a means of exchange, XRP, that's really where it should be housed, and underneath the CFTC as the regulatory bodies that should be a part of cryptocurrency and blockchain, because these are financial techs, these are commodities at the end of the day. So it's about getting away from the SEC itself and putting it under the umbrella of the CFTC and the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. You know, because these stable coins, you know, they're still maintained backing by Federal Reserve notes, which is the legal tender right now. But BNY Mellon is now the reserve custodian for RLUSD, for whatever fiat or whatever they want to hold with them. But you have to understand about this, about what constitutes a reserve for a backing for a stablecoin. It could be changed out in seconds at the strokes of a key if anything happens to the stability of the underlying asset. So say we go through this hyperinflation with Federal Reserve notes, few clicks of a key, guess what? That portion that was backing RLUSD can now be tokenized real estate, can now be tokenized gold or whatever else. And then boom, it's still compliant.
Yeah. We'll go to the questions later right now. I'll just keep a couple of my questions going. Given the bipartisan support noted by Garlinghouse, what are the odds of Clarity Act passing in the House next week during Crypto Week, which, you know, is just a big week regardless, because eyes are going to be on the market, like, and XRP in particular. And how might that affect, and you kind of actually answered this already, but how might it affect XRP's market performance?
Well, so next week, buddy, if you want, you can, you know, jump on with me for some spaces where we can call Congress, because I'm going to do it again.
I'm down.
Him and I, we called Congress, did group calls for Congress during Cash, Tulsi, and RFK Jr.'s confirmation hearings. And everybody should be doing that, okay? We should be, and I even have a video in my highlights giving a whole script of what you should say to your congressional member to put pressure on them to pass these legislations. What's the odds of it passing? Well, you know, that's kind of hard to tell. Hard to tell right now, because there are several other crypto-related bills into the House, and they may want to merge them together underneath one big thing, or there may be redundancies for it. So That's pretty tough to answer. The real answer is call Congress.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. And what's it going to do for the market performance for XRP? Well, number one, if Genius passes the House, it goes straight to Trump's desk. So that's the first law on the books. And what does that do? That allows for it to be used. So yes, it's going to be good for the technology and its use.
Yeah. Tina, do you have anything you want to say?
No, 100%.
Okay.
I can't even add to that. That's perfect. I'm gonna be joining those spaces though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we're all gonna be calling.
There's
that'd be freaking awesome.
I'm so excited. I've never been on it. I'm like, I don't know what I'm in for. I'm kind of scared.
I just sit around and guilt the staffer,
Let's go.
That's literally what happens. It's just he basically guilt trips the staffer into either having them like talk to them, or they just hang up on us, and we get some Mozart thing.
One time.
Oh yeah, no, that was crazy. So he was using, I forgot what the app was, but it was a phone number.
Yeah, fake phone number.
Yeah, and he called. Let's say we called like, I don't know, 8 of them, and they caught on and blocked his number from being able to call any other congressman. So we had to use.
Oh really?
Yeah. It was nuts. So then I got the Google Call app, and then it was fine after that. I guess I can't block that for some reason, but dude, yeah, they totally.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very telling.
Yes, it was. Hilarious. We're such shit disturbers, I swear.
Yeah, it's great. The hearing marked a shift from the Gensler era. How should the SEC and CFTC redefine their roles to support XRP's use in cross-border payments, especially with legislation looming?
Well, it should be under the CFTC, and the SEC should be getting out because it's not a security. I mean, we have that as part of the ruling, and legislation is either going to render the entire case moot or reaffirm it. Its odds are it's reaffirming it, and a lot of the language that's been put forward so far is reaffirming all of that, because they use this whole case to crib off of in order to craft legislation in the first place. So the CFTC should be getting involved in it because it is a commodity. And what they were talking about earlier under like meme coins and stuff, and putting the screws on the centralized exchanges, and what are the regulations that are going to be applicable to Bitcoin or XRP or any of these other things that especially XRP, because it actually has a use as a financial technology. Like, that's the proper roles for CFTC to go in there and try and regulate, but they shouldn't be regulating much. I mean, it is just a financial technology. It's a money processor. It's a gumball machine. Like, what is the problem here, And because it's something that goes into the back end of how you are transmitting value all throughout the world, So the laws are really going to be ironing all this out, and I'm going to be producing some content next week about the language on some of these finalized bills, especially with the Genius Act, to really dive more into that.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great idea, because it kind of goes into what someone was saying in the chat. I had it up here. We don't have to read all of them, but I just like what they said. Thanks for responding, Annie B. Thanks for responding to my question. As much as you have to repeat yourself, always remember that education only strengthens all of our positions.
Yep.
It creates teachable hearts, which is awesome. That's exactly.
Yep. That's what I've concentrated on this whole time, without doing one chart, one price, one anything. And that's why, I get so much shit thrown my way. Like, one guy said, "Is Vince a scammer?" Like, what the fuck do I sell? Like,
even I get called a scammer, especially especially recently.
Like I have a subscription available for $1 just so I can be a journalist. There's no promise of profit there. It's only just knowledge and education, just so I can keep doing it as just a reliable source. That's not, I'll tell you the truth, man, regardless whether you want to hear it or not. Like, I just think that journalists should have that permanent place without having the need to sell out to some corporation or take some deal to do some paid tweet or whatever else, because that's how we got into this situation in the first place, you know? So
100%.
Just trying to do this with ethics first.
No, you definitely are. You both are. Brad called the July 9th hearing a starting line. A starting line. I wasn't sure if I already asked this question, but I did not. What's the next critical milestone for XRP and Ripple in the legislative process, and how can the community push for it?
Well, okay, number one, how the community can push for it, call Congress. And like we just said earlier, we're going to be doing that, leading by example, and just listen to us how we call on them. And do the same. Do the same, because it's political action. We are in the political phase of all of this now, where you have to push. You have to let them know that we know what's going on. And the more those voices that go to those staffers, the more the staffers might have the aha moment and then just walk up to the congressman, because they're in the office. You know, they have the access to these people who all act like it's a big high school there. You know, I don't know if you guys had a chance to listen to it yet. The George Santos interview with Tucker Carlson today, he was airing them all out. Everyone's gonna watch it. It was hilarious. Hilarious.
There was too much going on today.
It's a big fucking high school there. That's all it is. There's cliques, there's the alcoholics, the this, the that.
Like,
but the whole point, and what Brad's saying as a starting line, look, if these companies, these crypto companies are just now getting the licenses, making the acquisitions, they already lost to Ripple. They already lost.
It's true.
Like, so it's not, he's kind of putting it like that, but really the race started a long time ago. All right. And this is the final stretch where the laws are now being passed. And when the laws are effective, we're going to see how powerful XRP really is.
Just speaking of high school and stuff like that, Renee, you want to cue that video?
Oh, please.
Right.
It's my favorite.
It's a good time. We're talking about high school and how politics
are. Oh, yes. Or nursing home drama.
Also, if you guys haven't seen The Boys, I mean,
oh yeah,
it's very similar to minus the superheroes of what our world's like. It's crazy.
You want this one?
Yeah.
Right,
you whack job.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And then after this, we'll go to some comments just to catch up.
Yeah.
I see some good ones.
I need to step out for just 1 second.
Okay, yeah. Yep, no worries. Renee's getting this up. It's hilarious. And shout out Tina. Before, the show, we kind of have a little, run through, a rundown, even like earlier in the weeks, I'm saying, everybody. And she got all these videos prepared for us. She did a great job.
While I'm working, I'm like, let me get these going.
Did a great job.
Can you play it?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I'm always working and working.
I feel you.
Look at the campaign contributions from this industry.
You think they bought her?
No, I said, look at the campaign
you
contributions.
Said they bought her. Do you think they
Senator,
bought her?
You need to focus on this bill instead of trying to distort my Twitter.
Last time, one of my
you
colleagues,
were quoting what a Marxist in Chicago said about
what evidence do you
make
have
no
that she's
sense.
a crook?
I said there are massive amount of campaign contributions coming into this Congress from the crypto industry.
Do you want to apologize to Senator Gillibrand?
I do not want you to have to apologize for passing legislation
do you want to
that
apologize
destroys
to
our
Senator
economy.
Gillibrand for calling
You are distorting
crooks.
what I said, just like you did in the last hearing. You're wasting everybody's time, Senator.
You're a whack job.
Senator,
you are
wasting.
Well, I think we are
next
I
level
think we.
whack job.
I think we
Is
are.
this middle school, Senator?
Senators and witness. Thank you both.
I think you should apologize, Senator.
I think, Senator, you're wasting our time. This is not middle school.
Thank you for your participation.
You're a whack job.
God, that's so funny.
It's so good. It's not.
It's so good.
It's just,
Oh my God.
It's some funny shit, man. But yeah, George Santos, he was airing them all out. How they're going downstairs and just, screwing in the dark basement of the Congress. And then he was talking about that one twink that was getting railed in the Senate confirmation hearing room in Amy Klobuchar's chair.
Oh, I gotta listen to that.
Oh my God, it was so good, so hilarious, and like they're all corrupt as shit, and like Mike Johnson's like a turncoat, like he was going off, man. I was enjoying every second of it. Straight up high school shit, man. High school.
So this was middle school.
Yeah.
He let us know like 5 times that this isn't middle school.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
You're
how
job.
Go to the college.
man. Absolute power corrupts, absolutely.
All right, so we got a lot of comments since the last, like emojis laughing at you guys and giving thumbs up. Let's see where we last were. Eric S. also saying here that people are missing out. We need more of this type of content in the community. Thanks for the show.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah,
Thank you.
All of our people are gonna enjoy it. I'm actually coming through stable right now. Like
I know, it's dope.
Oh,
Thank
it's great.
God.
yeah, right. I was so nervous all day about
Like,
it.
get your phone.
It's gonna make editing after this way easier.
I bet. Sorry about that, man. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
A lot of people commenting on Garlic House.
I love
I
it.
like that. Garlic
We
house.
just started a trend.
Yep.
Yep.
Garlic.
Garlic.
Brad Garlic House. And B saying, Brad's such a pro. Average people can't take Saylor seriously because of his cringe tweets, no matter what the price is.
Mhm.
And that tired orange tie that he needs to literally retire. It's the same tie. It looks like he took it off. It just stands in a corner. We should donate to a new tie.
Yeah,
Sorry.
a nice blue.
Great.
Yeah, nice blue.
Rob Red saying, we lost so much time on the SEC debacle, standing in the way of inevitability.
Yeah.
It was there. I feel like it was there on purpose, though, because
Mhm.
we had to.
They went around the
Small.
world. They went around the world and liaised with sovereign nations and helped with Project Bridge and all this other stuff. And it's like, look, and it's all in preparation for what's going on now. And we're seeing the trade war escalate even more. I mean, with all these tariffs that are going on, all of that does, and I've been using this phrase, it's called the great squeeze.
Yeah.
Squeezing them out of dollars, of the Federal Reserve System, because they're not going to want to pay 40% tariffs. All these slew of nations are going to be like, screw this. If we're sitting, Trump sat down at this poker game where we print the chips and now we're raising the ante on everybody. And this other poker table exists where where everybody can just transact freely. Like, they're not going to want to keep playing this game.
Mhm.
They're not going to want to keep doing it. And BRICS is de-dollarizing. Like, this is happening at a clip. Like, there's so many delinquencies going on now. Student loans, credit cards, mortgage payments, auto loans. Like, the list is endless. Everybody is broke. All right? Broke and in debt to the gills. Trump is setting it up with our trade lanes, with the concluding a peace, with the solidifying all of these trade rights and minerals and all this other stuff, and securing our elections, booting out the illegals to set us up for the next 20 years. But here's the critical thing. We have to get rid of the money printer at the center of it all. I mean, Doge did what they could, and I think this whole thing going on with Elon, you have to understand, they put together the transition team 60 days prior to the election, which is 60 days prior than what's ever been done before. They knew that as soon as Doge would go to do what it was doing and whatever they were going to try and do, that they would have the universal injunction placed against them. That was going to be the next inevitable counter move. So they went in, they had all the publicity about Doge, they made all these cuts, they did all this exposure, and then they had the universal injunctions placed against them by the Democrats, by the cabal. But now we have the power of universal injunctions lifted. And right before that, Trump and Elon did this messy divorce. Why? Because they knew that the mass layoffs that are happening right now, that all of the cutting that's going to happen under the presidential power of impoundments that Trump is about ready to do, the backlash needs to not be on Elon, because remember, his companies were underneath so much like firebombing and all this other stuff. So they did this messy divorce as a show, okay? Because now, as the universal injunctions are lifted, they can really start rolling with cutting out waste, fraud, and abuse, and having rescissions and using the impoundments to redirect funds into things that are in the national interest. And therefore, Elon is out of the picture. And now he's going through this like Kanye breakdown. It's all bullshit. Mm-hmm. It's all bullshit, just to insulate him from the consequences of what is about ready to happen.
I hope it's bullshit because I love the romance. I
It's-
love little X
it's
being
total
there,
bullshit. I'm
like
telling you.
Grandpa Trump. I'm like
Yeah.
heartbroken about it. I really hope it's just all bullshit.
It is all bullshit because of this very fact. They needed to insulate his companies from the backlash, from the fallout of what's about ready to happen. Now that the
And they stopped too. After you're right, because remember all like they were like trying to set like his shops on fire, Teslas, and after they broke up, it stopped and they started buying Tesla again.
Exactly. There it is.
That's true. You're right. You're right.
Like this, and we're only gonna know about it by deducing it from these later actions, because they knew in the planning of all this, because they had the transition team, like I said, they had 3 extra months to plan. They knew this was going to be the counter move by the Democrats, was to put in the universal injunction. So they knew that was a window of time to set all of this up before the courts would rule that, yes, that is an unconstitutional power. And then they did the public messy divorce. Come on.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to see through the bullshit just a little bit. You know?
Exactly.
We also got some comments saying Rob Red saying Crypto Week is going to be off the chain. Josh B saying off the charts, off the
literally.
scale.
Oh.
And comments back to calling.
I love
some
this.
calls. Let's order some pizzas to them. Like we're 12.
That could be a thing. Honestly,
that'd be hilarious. Rob Red's also saying Brad knows the game was over before it started. Everyone will be finding out. Kennedy is the GOAT.
He is. I love him. Oh, so cute.
He also commenting saying, Pocahontas brought in this clown so they could attack Trump. It was painfully.
Oh yeah, totally. I agree. And I'm like, why would you? And he picked he was such a loser. Sorry, the whole thing was embarrassing. You should pick somebody better.
Yeah.
my meme that I made, so I should sell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I should sell.
It was a bitch fight.
I hate that bitch so much.
Oh yeah, the end of the video. The end of the video was the funniest. We didn't get to it. Like
I think we have it. We could pull it up.
Just the end part where Brad's just sitting there like, oh my god, and then he like busted out laughing. He was trying to hold it in.
I'll send it to you, Renee.
What?
The video we're talking about.
The two grandpas fighting.
No, not that. Oh yeah, at the end of that one. Yeah, the one we just
the end of that one. I'm surprised nobody else was laughing. Like I wouldn't be able to hold it in. Like if me and Vincent were there, you would have heard us laughing. I don't know how nobody was laughing. Yeah, you would have heard that. Like that. You would have heard that. And towards the end. Yeah, like right there's perfect. Oh, we can hear it. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
That's great. He's such a human. It's awesome.
I love it.
Another comment. I think this is not trolling, but I do appreciate F2DA_T asking. But he could be. I don't know. I always just assume.
Oh no, he's saying Kale, you trolling because Kale's asking a question saying,
right.
Are y'all bullish on XRP? Sorry, new here.
Well, if you are new here, we're definitely into it heavy. Definitely watch the whole episode.
Just go to my.
I'm obsessed.
My page,
yeah.
See my name
underneath my page.
Oh, okay. I knew he wasn't trolling. Just brand new. Yeah, Kale. Definitely. We're all fans. We're just going over the
I
US.
the tech.
Yeah, exactly. The Senate banking hearing. If you go to everybody's page, Tina and Vincent on X, you could get a bunch of information there. We also have past episodes here on Down the Rabbit Hole. Cool. I've been a holder since 2020. Nice, dude.
Nice.
Very nice. Very good. Very wise. I wanted to pull up the clip of Brad talking about speaking on the SEC government from the Senate. I think I might have sent,
This one? Or this one?
Finally, it says at Brad Garlinghouse. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
That's it.
Garlinghouse, I'm going to turn to you with a related question. We're trying to calibrate an appropriate regulatory framework here for the digital assets arena. One of the concerns I have is rather than engaging with technologists, with people in the industry who are actually at the cutting edge of innovation, lawmakers, regulators could actually try to force the digital assets markets into outdated regulatory frameworks. I think that would stifle innovation, that would put us at a great disadvantage. And as we think about it, there are certain factors that are unique to the digital assets ecosystem. And what factors would you emphasize that we focus on as we think about an appropriate regulatory framework moving forward?
Thank you, Senator. I think there are unique aspects that need to be thoughtful and applied potentially uniquely to any legislation around this. That said, I do think that where Mr. Massad and I disagree is that depending upon an SEC and CFTC to work together assumes good faith appointed officials in doing that. What we have seen previously is the SEC actually sowed confusion in the marketplace. They took contradictory positions. Under Chairman Gensler, they took actually contradictory positions in different court cases, which actually created more confusion. And so you had federal judges saying things like the SEC was being arbitrary and capricious in their application of the law. You had judges, federal judges saying that they were not following a, quote, faithful allegiance to the law. And so my concern in depending upon a unelected appointee to make those decisions is that it assumes a good faith actor. And I think what we saw in this most recent SEC was just a war against the industry at large without a consistent application of that law.
Well,
very well said. Any other comments? No. Yeah, actually there are. Keep it in your pants, Elvis. Oh, and Elvis Gomez. Oh, that's why he's saying it. Sorry.
Hi, Elvis.
I also got Kale saying, appreciate the clarification. Oh, you're in your pants, Elvis.
Yeah, I just got that. No, I no problem, Kale. That's what we're here for. Is there anything else you guys want to discuss on the hearing?
Man, it's just, we just need the laws. Like that's where it is. And we're going to be calling Congress next week to ensure, make our voices known. That's the most important thing. Political activity is all we got left to do to push this over and just give it just a little bit of push. That's all that's left. It's not about price prediction. It's not about charts. It's not about any of that other bullshit. It's just about being politically active. And that's all we got to do. And then after the laws are passed, buddy, that is what we're waiting on, for it to be used by these people that have licenses. And so if you care about your investment, if you want to have gains, if you want this thing to be used, if you want the end of the Federal Reserve, you want the end of the dollar leverage system, buddy, pick up that phone and start dialing. All right?
Exactly.
Pick up that phone and start dialing. That's all you got to do.
And it seems to me like both sides can agree. What I've seen from watching, they both want consumers to be protected.
Yep.
They both have concerns about the meme coins. And they just want to, it looks like to me, they want to move forward. They just want to make sure they do it the right way. Some of them were talking and it's like, yeah, we're not going to know all the laws that we'll need till we get there.
Right.
There's a lot of it's new to us, right? We'll make laws as we go.
Yeah.
And some of them want laws now, but we're not going to know exactly what we need till it's in place.
Right.
So, yeah.
And this is why that case was so important against Ripple and why they fought it this whole time, because they were using this to crib off of, to craft the legislation.
Yeah.
Okay. So it not being a security, and what are the legal tests that you can deploy against it. We obviously saw that a lot of these other rules that the SEC was applying were just not applicable. Stuff that was written in the 30s. Like, it's just not applicable today. And that's the entire point, that this lawsuit was a functionary for that, to help them craft so-called legislations and everything like that. Like this is how the legislators work. All right, they pull from this type of stuff in order to have the conclusion. Okay, we need X, Y, and Z in this law. And it's just that simple.
Yeah. Couple more comments there. Looks like it's all good.
We got saying, how about that stud that went after the bald dude, asking if he could even explain crypto, saying it was a generational thing.
Oh yeah.
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 It was pretty much saying, because there's a lot of, I believe this is what it stemmed from. A lot of like elderly people during the hearing were just not getting crypto. And it's like, oh, well, you know what? It's a generational thing. But, you know, the people that were there to talk on the committee, they should have, no matter what age you are, you should have done your homework if you're going to come up and speak on it.
No,
like, it's incompetence. It's so crazy. If you don't know not even a little bit about crypto, what are you doing?
Give me 5 fucking minutes. I'll teach them all. Like, you know.
We need to have a school.
With these people. I will fucking force it into their heads. Like, dude. You know, like, and the thing is, look, for a lot of the older people, you don't even have to get involved with all of the what wallet you're going to use, what exchange, whatever. There's ETFs available for you. All right, go do that. Okay, for all the people that don't want to deal with all the bullshit, let the institutions deal with it. Okay, and you can just hold the ETF and take the dividend. That's fine. And for us, our age, it is incumbent upon us that do understand it to onboard the older generation. You know, I've had a lot of questions asked of me, like, what's the shift going to be like? What's the hyperinflationary event going to be like? How are there going to be centers where people are going to, you know, learn how to do all this? Like, no, the responsibility is on you. Like, your parents held your hand. Well, sorry, buddy, you're going to have to hold theirs. Like, I've had to do it with my, you know, my sister, my mom, like a whole bunch of other people, like, to just show them just, okay, here's a Coinbase, here's a Zaman. These are the real things. Those are shit. You're fine. You know?
All you really have to explain it as, just like when you use your credit or debit card, that money on that credit or debit card is digital.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. And like, I remember I was talking to Josh and a few others, I think Trav, maybe Vincent was there. It's not so much that it's going to be like a big change for us, because we're already used to the physical credit and debit card. It's just back end.
Yeah, it's back
really
end.
that. Yeah,
that's absolutely right. But it's in that back end where a lot of the fraud was introduced in the first place, underneath this very system that we're under right now, because it's backed by a money printer, and we can't have that going into the future, because that's where the fraud is emanating from. And that is what is propelling all of this dark stuff in the world, you know. So because it's the essential lie at the very base of our society, that you can create wealth out of nothing, and that first lie creates all the others. So we have to solve that one lie, and the solution for that is this entire financial system that Ripple did build, and I got it on the record for everybody. So it's a fact.
Thank you.
It's a financial system, and you can start to use it. And I've been pushing towards everybody else, like, hey, when you're doing a garage sale, accept RLUSD. Make people pay you in RLUSD, or, you know, if you owe somebody a debt, pay them in RLUSD or whatever, because you don't. Are you even going to have to pay taxes on that? Like, I mean, right now under Missouri, as a Missouri citizen, there's no capital gains taxes on any crypto. So I am incentivized to start settling in this system and not be beholden to the taxes that are attributed to using Federal Reserve notes. And that is the shift, everybody. That's the shift.
And honestly, if you do know, you know, this market in terms of like how to buy, how to, you know, store, all that jazz, you should have no problem teaching your fellow peers, friends, family. It's almost like your duty in a sense. I mean,
yeah, it is.
Josh B in here knows. I mean, we've talked so many times. I would say last 2024, and I had been talking to people since 2020 range about XRP, but 2024, the uptick in people reaching out to me, hey, how do I do this? What do I do? All the jazz. And it's no burden for me. It's actually enjoyable to help people out with that, because it's honestly, in the end of the day, I'd rather people say thank you than why didn't you?
Right.
Why didn't you
That's
tell me?
true.
And if there are people, like today in our sports show, the host of our show, Barnes, he was in this chat. He was saying how one of his friends is, in his early 30s, let's say, or maybe late 20s, is on the back end of people who doesn't believe in crypto, doesn't think it's a thing, thinks it's a scam, and isn't going to invest his money or time into it. And it's like, you're going to get those people, but eventually they're going to find out. It's almost like fuck around and find out, almost, in a sense,
Yeah.
It's unfortunate too, because crypto gets a really bad name because of the scams, and then people just assume that the whole thing is a scam. So we need to educate people on scams.
And then it's who do you trust? Because all of those big influencers, they dip their freaking beaks in it. They all are dirty. Playing with that mud. And that's the problem here. That's why, like, people like me and Tina and Mike, and John, like, we're alone fighting this shit. Like, trying to just give straight information to people and not try and shuffle a meme coin out the back door to you. It sucks. And of course we're treated like pariah about it.
I also think, like, when I see. All right, so I see people that follow me, but then I go to like one of these people that push these scams, right? But I see a lot of my followers following them, and I just want to make a post and be like, stop feeding them, unfollow all of them. You're making it by you interacting with their post and you liking and following them, gives them money to keep on scamming people. Just mass unfollow these people. Period.
Like I tell people all the time, dude, you don't gotta like me, but I may find me abrasive or whatever the fuck, but dude, I'm telling you the fucking truth, dude. Like, and that's just what it is. Like, I'm not trying to sell you nothing, Like,
the day you see,
sell something.
The day you see Vincent selling meme coins or merch or whatever the case, he's been confiscated.
It's an AI.
It's an AI. It's a clone. It's not him.
I've been so blunt.
He's been kidnapped.
Yeah. Don't believe it. Okay.
Rest of the comments, Renee?
We got Eric saying, anyone else almost hope BTC fails more than XRP succeeds? Can't stand their community.
I know the community is really hard, but I try not to, because I feel like if I put that energy out there, that's like a negative energy. And I feel like we're going to get that back. So I try to, like, in my head, those Bitcoin maxis really piss us all off. Really. But I just try not to wish on their downfall. That's a lot of people that have investments that will lose everything. I don't know. I don't like it.
Well, that's why I like, you only need 2 questions, and it pisses me off to no end whenever the debates happen. Whoever our representatives are, the self-appointed people, they go out there and they start trying to get in the weeds about it. It's like, dude, all you need is 2 questions, and it's 2 questions they can't answer. Like, that's all you need to defeat all their arguments. And you can save a lot of people by having them stumble on trying to answer those 2 damn questions. Like, just ask those 2 questions. They can't answer it. That's the point.
Ask it.
Whenever I was studying to go into law school, one of the things I learned was never ask a question you don't already know the answer to. Well, we know the answer to those 2 questions, that there is no answer, and that's the point. So you have to keep hammering those 2 questions until people get it, that it is unstable. It's a dirty financial bomb. That's all it is.
Yeah. No, it's tough because Brad always takes the high road. And it's like,
I know he has to. I get it.
I know, and I kind of try to go with that route, but they're not nice at all. They're
so mean.
Oh,
I'll fight for no reason. And I think they're like that because, all right, say if I was like the top, like they think they are, right? I wouldn't be bothering myself with anybody lower than me. If I really didn't think they were a threat, why would I bother with the people lower than me? Because they are threatened.
Yeah,
exactly. Because it's utility that's going to drive what's about ready to happen, and the laws are there, and their liquidity mechanism Tether is about ready to go down. So what the hell else they got?
Nothing.
Like all
they should just sell.
All they have is drawing more people into the Ponzi as exit liquidity. That's it.
Yeah.
They could buy XRP though.
Yeah.
They can, but they have like this weird ego and pride thing going on. They'd rather shoot themselves in the foot and then invest. So that's on them. They'll join when XRP's at $20, you know, like.
Right.
And this is off topic a little bit, but it's Bitcoin related. Do you think that it will come out who Satoshi is, the bags will come out, and it'll essentially, you know,
implode?
Yeah,
I think so.
It's inevitable. I mean, they try and sell this thing as if this dude's a deity. Like
I know, it's crazy. Like
this thing and walked away.
Robin Hood.
Such bullshit. It's such bullshit. Nobody does that. It's literally designed to infiltrate treasuries all around the world and then be so integral that now it's a hostage situation with whoever's holding that bag.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody is and that's not even talking about how it's used to facilitate these dark things around the world because it's settling to anonymous sources. Okay, this is how the NGOs are moving money. Okay, they'll get a portion of money, then they'll have some Bitcoin to transfer it out to an anonymous source to, you know, do child sex slavery or this type of coup going on over there with paying some mercenary group or some jihadi, whatever. Like, this is just a dark method of transacting, and it helps facilitate a lot of these things around the world because they can't touch the banks with this shit. You know, it's not like they're going to take a trailer full of, you know, Federal Reserve notes across the border. You know, it's a lot easier to stick, you know, a cold wallet up your ass and walk, you know? You know, that's just, unfortunately, that's just how it is, you know?
Yeah.
It's all going to, it's not, there's no KYC about it.
And I think we're headed towards that direction just by those, was it 6 or more wallets that just got, well, they just like reactivated.
Yeah, if that's not telegraphing it, nothing will.
I don't believe in a coincidence like that. All of them were 14 and a half years old.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And they all activated the same time pretty much. But it wasn't like, it was like automated.
Yeah, like it was set. It was like set 14 years ago in 2025.
Yeah.
It's going to be
AI unlocked it.
Like, yeah, no, if I was a Bitcoin holder, I would have shat myself.
I was saying. They were all quiet.
Yeah,
like,
no, they were.
If you aren't getting the fuck out now, dude, you're an idiot. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, this is the telegraph.
Going down the ship.
This is it's time to, you know, take your fucking profits and go somewhere else.
Go get XRP.
Go here.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right. Don't make any content. That's the one thing, and we'll get to the rest of the comments. I'm sorry, Renee. But like, that's the one thing I've hated seeing. I'm not going to lie, is like the people with a following. Because like, sure, the people with the following that have been promoting XRP to get people into the meme coins is one thing. But the people who have not been promoting XRP for all these years and then now are promoting people to get XRP, it's like, you're a jackass, dude. You've been hating on it for years.
Yeah.
People could have bought in years ago, and now you're telling them, and like blowing XRP. It's like,
because they want to pump their bags.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they want.
Yeah. That's they want a penny flip. They want to get in on it.
Yeah.
Why? Like, I've never said ever to swing trade anything. Like, I think that's the dumbest thing ever. I'm not risking shit. And you know, my fucking wallet's posted. Like, I'm leading by example. I don't fucking touch it. I don't fuck around with it. It's there until we get to the point when it's time to actually either deploy it or take the price appreciation, take the profit, whatever. But it's always going to be after the laws are in place and effective, ready to go. Because that is the real utility rise we're all waiting for to make us all fucking free. You know, Brad said it. Scalable transactions. It can scale. What do you think that means? How is XRP designed to handle the scale? Well, it floats with the amount of transactions that are going on over the damn ledger. So that's what they're waiting on. You know, like you can only say this, you know, so many different ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Renee?
We got Robbie Red saying Vinny is never going to capitulate. Vinny gets value out of this. That money won't satiate it. It's much deeper. I was there the night Tina picked up on it. They have become a force for good.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about, man. It's about ending the Federal Reserve System. It's about ending the Fed. I got a fucking blood feud against this system. They came after my family. I had to suffer, you know, my own fucking health decline after this shit in the fallout of it all. You know, I was part of the first wave of weaponization of government. Like, the IRS came after my family after I ran for office. Like, I hate this system. I hate it. That's what, you know, it's so funny. When I first started this, you know, I started to get the offers and the deals and this and that. And it's like, dude, have you not read a damn thing about me? What the fuck do you think I'm going to say to you? Like, you know, it's just laughable. So I was like, you know, toss salad, motherfucker. I'm not going to do the deal. This is about getting us all out of this. It's about, you know, having this new system where that is backed in audit, that's fully transparent, that you understand that the Fed is literally driving all of us insane and crippling us by constantly being on the treadmill of inflation that keeps speeding up every year. That's why everybody keeps getting scammier, because you got to keep up with inflation, you know?
And also, they're trying to get the scams in before all the laws are in place.
Yep. It's only getting worse before the laws, because they're trying to fucking get as much out of this system as they can.
Yeah.
We also got Elvis saying, with Powell possibly stepping down, could this finally break the Fed's resistance to XRP's role in future global liquidity?
I think that's the law's function, but him stepping down, what that means is that now whoever's going to take the mantle is going to do what Trump says, which means they're going to cut rates, which all that's going to do is flood more Federal Reserve notes into the system, which causes more inflation. And the big beautiful bill didn't deal with the budget, but it did cut taxes, which means more Federal Reserve notes are in circulation, and de-dollarization is happening via BRICS, which means more Federal Reserve notes in the hyperinflationary event is upon us. That is the point. Okay. And we have this new system ready to go. And at the end of the day, what's hanging over all of this is the debt that's based on fraud that we're paying interest on, that is more than the military budget. And what do we know about Trump? He is the best at using the risk of default or whatever else to negotiate debt down. And what is better leverage than to say, fuck Federal Reserve notes, we got RLUSD. I'm not going to accept this as a form of payment anymore. And then it just, boom, obsoletes itself. And he's boiling out all of these other sovereign nations using tariffs to go and use this new system. When you step back and you see it like that, you can't unsee it.
Absolutely.
Rob says, Vinny has made it so simple. It's the law and mass adoption, period. If you think about it, it's common sense. The rest is just noise.
Yep.
Also tunes in with the question saying, hey, Vin, you think we have a chance at tax-free U.S. crypto? Is it a pipe dreams? Is it a pipe dream?
I think we do have a chance at it, and we need to be calling Congress to ensure it. Missouri already has it.
Awesome.
So Missouri's already no capital gains on crypto. So.
Unlike New York, where I live, the worst state.
It's one of them.
California.
Yeah, definitely one of the worst states right now. The city's tough. It's sad what's going on over there. But yeah, I think this has been a great episode. If anybody has any more comments, I'd reel them in real quick. But I mean, guys, if you have anything else you want to say?
Well, just follow me over at well, you're not a follower, you're a reader until we become friends. But if you want to support what I do, buddy, it's $1 a month just so I can make the transition to being a full-time journalist, give people a straight take. If you're an iPhone user, all you got to do is log in via internet, not the app, to subscribe. And yeah, buddy, we'll get through this, and you can always count on me to give you a straight answer on whatever you want, man.
Yeah, please subscribe to Vincent. I don't have a subscription yet. I've been waiting 3 months. What's going on? Anyway, follow me if you want to know about scams. I help educate and protect. Tell me about, what was that? Sorry, I got distracted by that comment.
Oh,
I love New York. Oh, gotta love New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll stay for a little bit.
Yeah. I'm in Connecticut, so it's not any better.
Yeah, we're supposed to have something we all meet up here.
We definitely are planning that. I'm excited to maybe pick a date and go from there. And we'll let everybody else know. We could all meet in person. Have a little
meet and greet.
Have a little party. Exactly.
So fun.
I call it an XRP party. I think
I want an XRP party.
Yeah.
Can we have to wait for something big to happen?
Yeah.
Like a big
the laws getting passed, man.
Maybe next week.
I
Who
know.
knows? We'll see.
Who knows? You never know. Things that, the thing with Trump, which I love, he really gets the ball rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Things have been passing quickly. So people are like, oh, I might take this. I'm like, you have no idea. It could, like he said, maybe next week. You don't know.
Yeah.
Leverage. It's all about leverage, man.
Yeah,
my phone's about ready to die here.
Yeah. If anyone wants to find Tina and Vincent, Tina and Vincent's socials are on the bottom of this bio on the YouTube. You could also see where to donate to Tina, and for Vincent, it's on his X. The subscription button is right there. It's very easy. And for us here at Downtime TV, just subscribe. It's free. And we really appreciate everybody tuning in.
Yep.
You guys are awesome. The comments, the camaraderie, and make sure you go down the rabbit hole. Until next time, guys.
Right on.
Bye.